Okay, so today we're going to make allium soup from various plants of the allium family in the back garden. And here we have the ever recognisable wild garlic. And we're really fortunate to have this growing in the garden. It's grown here for years. There's absolutely tons of it. So we'll be using the leaves, which are here, and some of the flowers because they're ever so slightly sweet, and we might throw a few buds in as well. So other plants from the allium family that are going in this soup. We've also got some chives, as you can see here. These are ready for a cutback. And then over here we have Welsh onions, perennial Welsh onions. You can see them going along there. They're about ready for a cut as well. So without further ado, let's get into making this allium soup. Okay, so we picked our wild garlic leaves. There's probably about 30 here. There's I'd describe as a bloody good handful. So I'm going to soak them in water for a few minutes and get them clean, and then we're going to go and pick the rest of the ingredients out of the garden. Okay, so here's our Welsh onions, and a generous handful I'd call that. So we'll give them a quick wash in cold water. We'll put them with the wild garlic leaves that we've already washed, and then we'll go out and get the chives, and then we'll get a peg on with making this soup. And here's our chives, and these are just standard chives. They're not garlic chives or anything specific. We've had these in the garden for about 10 years. So again, another big generous healthy handful of chives. So I'll give them a quick wash and then we'll get on with the soup. Okay, so we're just giving this a bit of a rough chop really. There's no need to fine chop it because we're going to give it a bit of a wazz with the blender at the end. So we'll just chop it a little bit more. And over here in the pan we've got some olive oil, and we're going to put in, this is the last of the white garlic that we grew last year in the garden. So we're going to put that in for a little bit of extra oomph. So let's get on with it. And everything's in the pan now. Okay, so everything's in the pan with the olive oil and the white garlic, and it's coming along nicely. So we're just going to let this fry for a couple of minutes and let it sort of wilt down some. And it's just such a shame that that you can't smell the beautiful aromas coming off this. So just give this a minute or so, and then we'll get on to the next stage of making this allium soup. Okay, so in here we've got roughly a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of paprika, and we're going to grind this up, and then we're going to add it to our allium soup mix. Right, so we've ground that up, and that's ready to go in. Okay, so we've added our spices, and we're going to put a pint of cold water in. And then we're going to give that a stir. And again, this is smelling absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to add, just get it all stirred in properly. And then we're going to add another pint of cold water. And here's our second pint going in. And then we're going to turn the gas up slightly. And we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to boil this for a minute. So it's quite an economical soup to make really, considering the extent of which gas and electricity bills are going up. So you've only got to boil it for a minute because there's no big chunks in it, there's no potatoes and carrots. It's all quite thin tubular stuff. So we'll just give that a minute now. It's just starting to come to the boil, and then we'll switch it off and it's virtually ready. But we're going to blend it up. We're going to get the blender and wazz it up into a beautiful green liquid. And there we have it, folks. We have a bowl of allium soup. The whole thing took about 6 minutes to make, cooking time about 3 minutes. And we've just put like a wild garlic flower on top. These are very garlicky but quite sweet as well. And I've had a little taste of the soup and it's absolutely lovely. So give it a try. If you're a bit short of cash or you just want to try something different, don't forget my allium soup. And thanks for watching the video. Please share with your friends and please subscribe to the channel.